Hello and welcome to 0-1 The Town Matchday Preview. We're off to Deepdale this weekend to play Preston North End. With me to discuss their game in more detail, we have Ollie from the Butter Pie podcast. Ollie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
Let's get straight down to it. Preston recently not been in good form. I think as they lost the record number of home league games, 7 in a row, not scoring, 2 managers gone. And now we've got a new manager in. That sort of sums up your season already, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not been a good start, really. The first 2 games have just probably shown us, what happened in the latter end of last season, which was abysmal form, highly inconsistent. And then, as you mentioned, we're on to our 3rd manager of the season. So hopefully it's 3rd time lucky.
What's gone wrong at Preston? What has actually gone wrong? What is it? The management? Is the team not been performing up to their? Because in the past, Preston have done quite well, haven't they? And I don't. What's happened there? What's happened at Deepdale?
I think a couple of reasons. I think Manlow said enough was enough, and he came into the job and he mentioned, if he weren't able to take the club further, he'd step down, and that's what he's done. And the 2 full seasons that he had with us, we kind of always just faded away, especially in, when it comes down to a critical point, the last running. We had a poor end to the season before, but we still picked up fairly decent points. We, around about 10th to high end mid-table. And then it happened again last season. We thought we maybe going to make a push for the playoffs, but then the last, 6 or 7 games, especially the last 5, we didn't score. We lost all 5 and conceded 13. And, pre-season was a bit hit and miss. We've gone into the first game of the season, fans probably on lows back a bit. And, we showed the same performance as we did from the season previous. And I think the fans' relationship with Lowe at that point was very, very strained. And so he stepped away, albeit to my shock. But I did think it would happen. So it's probably better now it's happened earlier. And then obviously the second game was Mike Marsh taking charge on an interim basis, and we just fell apart after the first goal. It just like all the players down tools. It felt like, we've not got a manager. There's going to be a new manager coming in. Why should I play for this man? And then after the game, Mike Marsh just said he didn't want the job permanently and that he was leaving. So, it's been a bit of a weird one, to say the least, but hopefully things change for us.
Would Mike Marsh have ever been in the seat for the full time? Would he just not interim and always going to look for somebody else? Do you think?
Well, it happened under when we sacked Alex Neil. Frankie McAvoy took charge, and he was our number 2, and he got the job on a permanent basis, and that didn't go to plan. He ended up leaving after 6 months, which, notoriously for Preston, where we give managers time. We give them 2 to 3 years actually, but under Frankie McAvoy it was just so poor. We just got rid straight away. So I would like to think North End would have, they have learnt from their mistakes, but you can never say never if he was in the picture or not. Seeing that we appointed Frankie McAvoy, so if things had gone differently, we got a win against Swansea. I'd have expected Mike Marsh to probably still be in charge, but the way that we went down, I think that probably put in his mind that he didn't want to be manager at all.
How do you feel about Heckingbottom and McCall coming in? Is that a manager you'd go, right, he can take us further? Because for what he did with Sheffield United, for instance, he did a good job there to get him into the Premier League, didn't he?
Yeah. At the start, he probably wasn't my first choice. Seeing the other names, there was a couple of names like Brian Byron Murphy, and I felt like, a total change in identity going back to, watching good football and being so. But the more and more I read about Heckingbottom now that he obviously took 8 months out since Sheffield United, he's obviously got them promoted, which is the main thing that any management wants. He's been learning out in Leverkusen. He's been learning out at Girona over the past 8 months. So he's clearly a manager that wants to enhance his current abilities, which he's great at. And I feel like now's the time, now's the perfect fit. And especially with McCall as well, which I'm really happy about for bringing in the experienced number 2. I just feel like it's the right fit. I feel like He's come in, brand new squad, and there's still money to throw around a bit for Paul Heckingbottom as well. So potentially we could see a couple more others. I just think it's the right man for the job. I think he's the right man to steady the ship, and then obviously see where we can go from there.
As a Luton supporter, I'm hoping that you don't have that new manager syndrome where someone comes and they all play really, really well. Will the team be able to turn it around? Heckingbottom and McCall, could they turn it around pretty quickly and get you back on winning ways straight away, do you think?
I'd hope so. I don't think the formation style's totally different from Ryan Lowe, so it's not like they're expecting the players to, play a completely different formation. Lowe notoriously played three at the back, and Heckingbottom's here playing a 3-5-2 notoriously. I just feel tactically it's going to be a lot better from ourselves. I think, albeit, it's probably not the greatest of games to come up against, obviously, a good side in Luton Town to show our strengths, but I feel like we'll really go after teams, and rather than what the game plan under Lowe was, play to not lose the ball, we're probably now going to try and enhance that and, play to try and, take the risk, which is what you want to see as fans. And I'm expecting a good game no matter what at Deepdale. I'm expecting good football. I think that's all North End fans want to see at the moment, even if we can't just turn it around straight away. Hopefully we can. I think we're just crying out for some good football to watch. And if that's able to be put on display, no matter what the result, I think we'll be happy.
So, talking about football, what style do Preston? I haven't seen Preston for a couple of seasons, obviously, because we had that glorious season up in the Premier League. Only one, but it was fantastic anyway. What can we expect to see? How do you think will Preston play a high press? Will they go fast, and is there a couple of star players we need to keep a lookout for?
Yeah, I'd expect obviously Luton to have more of the ball. With North End and obviously how we did used to play high press and try to obviously catch the defence off guard. I'd expect us to probably do the same under Heckingbottom. Try and force the defence to try and make a decision and try and force them to potentially go long. We'll see. I'm expecting us to come at you a bit more than what we would have under Lowe, where we probably would have sat in a low block and then, if there was a mistake, we'd go there. I'm expecting a bit more of a high press and, forcing Luton to make a decision rather than, allowing them to make the decision themselves. Honestly, anything other than what football was on display previously will be a bit of an advantage. So I'm excited to see. I think it'll be a great game, and I think the attendance will be right up there as well. I think the fans have been wanting something different, and now they've got it. So with the fans on our side, when fans come against the players, I think they're massive confidence players. And under that season with Neil, we were fantastic at home. The fans right behind us, and I feel that'll be the same. Unfortunately for Luton this weekend, I'm not saying that we're going to win. But I'm expecting a much, much better performance than what we would have shown previously. So,
up front or who's your star player? Who's the one that I really want to see play or look out for this week?
Number 10, Mads Frockia. If Heckingbottom can, allow him the freedom that he deserves when he first came in, and obviously got restricted a bit, and plays him to his strengths, for me, he's one of the best creative midfielders in the league. He kind of likes to roam around in the 10 position, strive off to the left a bit. Obviously, we've got a new signing in Jeppe Ockels as well, so a bit of a Danish connection there. So we'll see if them two can link up hopefully well. But Mads is the main man. If Mads is having a game, he's a real threat to watch for any team in the league, I can say. Far too good to be playing for Preston, really. I'll
just write his name down.
Mads Frockia Jensen, number 10.
Yeah, but if he's far too good for Preston, you never know. We might be looking for a number 10. You never know.
Yeah, well, hopefully this isn't an audition.
Look, I appreciate it's hard when we're both partisan fans. We both want our own teams to win, obviously, but the dreaded prediction result, which I ask everybody on this little pod, what do you think? Do you think Preston will be up for a win? Would you be happy with a draw? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd snap your hand off for a draw. I think anything positive that you can take from this game is a massive step in the right direction. I'm not going to get us to win. I'm not going to back us to win. I'm going to back a draw. My head's saying 2-2 for some reason, but I feel like that's too optimistic because we haven't scored in 7 games. So I'm going to go 1-1 and just hope that our defence is solidified and we can hopefully take something from the game.
For me, I have to say that the thing that worries me is you haven't scored for that many games. You haven't won a game for that many games. You have a new manager, so that might give you the upper hand. On our own podcast, I will tell you straight up, I've been predicting 2-0 every week, so I haven't changed. So I'm hoping that happens. I am coming up to Deepdale, so I hope it's going to be a great day, a good atmosphere. Where can people listen to your match reactions post game?
Yeah, so obviously we're very highly active on X or Twitter at the Butterpie Pod. And then obviously on all good reputable streaming sites, so your Apple Podcasts, your Spotify Music, and obviously you mentioned now you're coming up to Deepdale. Yeah. We had a bit of a chat about the name of the podcast.
Oh yeah, the Butterpie Podcast. That's an unusual name.
You'll find it on the concourse. It's only in Preston. It's a Preston delicacy. It is obviously a pie. Pretty much it's just potato, onion, and mashed together in a pie. You put a bit of gravy and brown sauce on it, and it's amazing. Right. But it's a delicacy, close to Preston. It's a bit of a cholesterol pie, I won't lie, but you've got to give it a go whilst you're up here.
Well, I'll do that too. Just in case any of you guys want to listen or watch on this preview, we'll get Jacob, our producer, to link it for you all. We are on YouTube. We broadcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all your favourite places. Our match reactions come out normally on the Tuesday, so if you're interested in what we've got to say about the game afterwards, please do come on. Ollie, thanks for coming home, give us your time. I hope you have a good Saturday 3 p.m, that's unusual for Luton Town at the moment, so that's good. I look forward to the game, and I just hope that it's an entertaining game, and to be fair, I do hope that Luton Town win, but if we don't, we'll get over it. Thanks for coming on.